Hey, it's David Baer, and in this video we're going to be talking about the pop-up builder, Convertux. Or is it Convertux? Convertux bills themselves as an easy-to-use, clean interface, no code required pop-up builder. And they pretty much live up to that claim. Let's take a look at their website. So here we are on the homepage of the Convertux site, and as you can see, it is a pretty clean interface. We're going to dive into the software in just a moment, but I wanted to show you the homepage of their site as it currently exists. They're just getting up and running, and they have built this tool based around some common principles that you'll see in some similar tools, but already they are starting to iterate well beyond some of the tools that they've been inspired by. So let's just scroll on down. You can see sort of how simple and clean the interface is. Basically what you do is you drag and drop, as the name suggests, the different elements, and you can fine-tune each and every piece of it. Then let's scroll down a little bit further. The other thing that they're doing is they're doing a one-off price. So rather than doing a subscription-based program where you might be paying $50 a month to have X number of pop-ups show each and every month, you can actually have it for a single price. You get 100,000 views every single month without having to have any subscription to it, and you can use it on up to 10 different websites. And I'll show you why that matters when we dive into the software. Now, I've had the opportunity to have a couple of exchanges with the developer behind this. He's really motivated to offer the best product in this space, and I gotta say he's well on his way after modeling after some of the common practices and some really smart stuff that's already out there. He's building on top of that already, and they've only just begun, so I'm looking forward to seeing where he's going to be bringing this tool next. So here we are inside of Convertux, and I got a couple of boxes that I've built here. I'm going to actually build one specifically for this new domain that I've put in because I'm going to show you how I install it onto a page in just a moment. But before we do, we got to build one. So I'm going to go ahead and create a box. Now, you see that there are a few different types or styles of boxes that you can create. There's a bar that sits at the top of the site. There's a light box, which will show up in the middle or off to the side. There's what they call chat-like modal, which basically it doesn't simulate a chat, but it shows up in the corner and it feels like, hey, somebody's chatting with you because you actually can put like their image in there. And then finally, there's this full page takeover option. But what I really like about it is before you even get to the, build your own, they've already pre-built a bunch of templates that you can then build on top of. So let me show you how very, very simple this is. Let's just go ahead and click on the limited offer one and hit create the box now. So here is the limited offer. You can see there's two components to it. There's the text over here on the left-hand side, and then there's a button over here on the right-hand side. And if I want to add additional elements, well, let's see, can I? I can pull some more text over. Or if I want to have an image, I can pull an image over as well. In this case, I'm not going to add anything at the moment, but I am going to say, oh, I really don't like the way that this reads. Maybe I will get rid of the limited time offer piece, and I want that to be bigger, so I simply make that font bigger. And I love that font type, but I would like this to actually be yellow. I can simply change that. Now I have the button over here, which currently says Shop Now, and I want it to change to, let's say, just say Buy Now. And again, I want to play around a little bit with the image or the button color, so I want to have that, but now I got this white on black that just doesn't work, so let's go ahead, or excuse me, white on yellow, so let's change that to black. Alright, you can see how quickly and easily I did those things. Let's say, however, that the background color needs to conform to the colors on my website. Well, I have the ability to choose quickly from one of these colors. Let's say, I want it to be a dark purple, or I can put the hex code in down there at the bottom as well. So there's a couple of choices I have. If I want to put a background image, I can simply click that and have an image show up. In this case, I'm going to leave it a solid color. Now, the next thing that we want to figure out, oh, by the way, there's the mobile, and if I want the mobile size of the font to get smaller or even smaller, right, I can do that so that I don't have the, and you can see it actually changes at a different rate than the desktop, so they're not tied together, they're independent of each other. Okay, now, next step is after I've got the design, I got to figure out what is going to be the routine in terms of like when it's going to appear. So here you go to behavior. So there's the trigger, like when does this show up? You have the ability to either have it show up after a certain amount of time, or maybe after somebody is scrolling the page for a certain percentage. So let's say I want them to scroll halfway down the page, 50% of the page before they see it. Or I want to have it be a period of no activity, so like they're just sitting there not doing anything, and then you can have that show up. This is something I think they're going to need to change. Is it says inactive for more than this percent? I think it probably is seconds is what they mean. I'll probably let the developer know that. Page abandonment, show if they attempt to leave the page. So this is similar to what we might know as exit intent, where the mouse goes outside of the browser window. That would be the same thing as page abandonment. Most commonly, it's referred to as exit intent. And if they click on something, so you can actually have them click on a link that you create inside of the page. So those are the different options. I like exit intent, or what they call page abandonment. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Now, how often do you want that to show up? What's the frequency? So you can have it every single session one time, or you can have it once per day, or you can have it multiple times per day, so 5 times per day, or you can have it once per day, maximum of 3 times total. What it doesn't give you the ability to do is weeks or months. So that's something that I think I'm going to recommend they make some changes on. It might only be 1 time per day, or once every day. Maybe that is what they meant. I believe that they're not native English speakers, and so maybe this is stuff that they just need to more clearly define, and have somebody who knows English properly define the language here, as I'm stumbling over my words. But this is, I'm going to go back to once per session, and we'll leave it at that. Also, you can have it, if somebody closes the box, you can have it not shown again, like they dismiss it. You don't want to irritate them by having it shown again, so you have the ability to play around with that as well. I'm going to just leave it as is. And then finally, where do you want it to show up? So on certain pages, you can either have it show the entire site, or you can exclude certain pages or include certain pages. If you don't do this, then I believe the default is that it's going to show up on the entire site. I'm not entirely sure. So right now, yeah, include all pages of my website, so everything is included. I'm going to just leave it as is for the purposes of this demonstration. We'll go ahead and do targeting. It could be for all visitors, or you can have it be for specific visitors, usually people coming from a specific location, or actually this is a much bigger list than I've seen on other sites. So you can have it based on whether they have a cookie value of a particular keyword, which is kind of interesting. If they are or are not logged into WordPress. So maybe you have a membership site and you want it to show only to your members or only to your non-members. Well, that's an option that you have. Based on their location, based on the referring source, like where they came from, numbers of sessions that they've had within a certain period of time, for example, what sort of device they're on. So this is a pretty cool list. I'm actually quite impressed with that. In this case, I'm just going to go with all visitors just to make things simple. And then, are we ready to launch it? Yeah, so I need to give it a name. We're going to call this test. Actually, this isn't a pop-up. We called this a test bar. And right now it is live, right? So it's inactive, but when I click on it, it goes live. I can also set a start and end date if, let's say, I have a limited time promotion for a particular product and I want to like queue these up in advance. You could schedule that. In this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then from here, I have two options. I can either use a WordPress plugin, or I can just take a code, this script right here, copy it, and put it right on my website, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, you can also find that over in the installation section. Installation is going to show you that code, or you have the ability to do the WordPress plugin route. If you do the WordPress plugin, all you need to do is add a new plugin, and then you just search for their plugin right from inside of your plugin dashboard inside of your WordPress account on your website. So that's super, super simple, really easy to do, and then you have a code here to activate that plugin. But again, we're not doing the plugin, we're going to be using the script. I've already copied that, and now I'm going to go over to Convertux, my page builder, where I'm going to install it. So this is just a random page that I have built on Convertux at the moment. Right now, I don't think that if I were to load it, you're going to get any sort of pop-up. If I remember correctly, I set it for exit intent and nothing is oh, it did happen because I actually just put this code in earlier so that you can see the pop-up showed up. Because I had put it in testing before I hit go. So, all right, let's show you where I did that. This is the custom scripts, and it's the header script. And all I did in this case, and this is not a tutorial on Convertux, but I just put that script here. And then I went ahead and published it. And I guess, unbeknownst to me, I had actually activated this already. So you can see, and now it's not going to happen because I only have it once per session. But perhaps we can go ahead and open that. I don't know if it's going to work here because I'm not in incognito, but let's say, yeah, it doesn't look like it's working, but let's open this in incognito and then see if it works. So we'll go ahead and do that there. All right, the page is loaded, and now I'm going to see, as I try to exit, it does show up. So you can see again that it's pretty self-explanatory. Now, I didn't set anything up for the button, so if I click it, it's just going to go away, but I could have set up a link for that button. So there you go. It's fairly straightforward. All we did was we created a box. It was linked to this particular domain, and I already have had an interaction with it. Now, one thing I did, like I showed you, the Buy Now button, it could have actually gone to a specific place. All you do is you go into button settings, and then you can choose what happens. So you either have multiple steps in a like a little funnel, or you can redirect to a specific URL. I could set that URL, and then there's additional considerations that I have here too. So you can see this is very well thought out, much more sophisticated than pretty much any of the other mainstream tools that you're going to find online when it comes to these pop-up builders, because there's so many choices that you can make along the way to give you a lot of additional expert help and advice and information about sort of what your visitors are doing. And you can structure it to do all kinds of things that are highly targeted based on who is visiting your site, where they happen to be visiting, where they're coming from, how long they've been on a page, who they are in general, so that you can get in front of specific people with specific messages and getting them to take specific actions. So overall, Convertux is a pretty cool tool. And if you remember, for this one-time price of $349, a pretty amazing limited investment to be able to have this for the lifetime of the product. So if you're looking for a tool like this, I know they're going to continue to iterate and build upon what they already have in place. The developer is super accessible. In fact, he has access to him directly with his email down at the bottom of the page here as well. So that's a quick look at Convertux. If you're interested You can grab it by clicking the link directly below this video. That's my referral link, and if you do buy through that link, I do get acknowledged as the referral partner. But it doesn't cost you a penny more. You can grab it right now for the one-time price listed on their website. I'm David Baer from Baer on Marketing, and thanks so much for watching my inside look at Convertux. Oh hey, before you go, if you liked the video, hit the like button. And if you got a comment, please leave one. And finally, don't forget to subscribe.